Everyone, just wanted to say thank you for checking out this week's episode. Sorry there hasn't been any the last couple weeks. We were getting ready for our event out at the Lighthouse on Presque Isle. But we do have one today. You're watching part 1 of our Lakeview episode. Part 2 will be next week and will feature the experiment and things that happened over at President Garfield's monument. So definitely check out this week's. Make sure you come back next week for the last half of it. Welcome, folks, to another special Who's Ghost Stories. I'm your host, Andrew, who's our Reiki Master and Medium from Who's Our Reiki and Readings. We've got our research expert, Sean, and paranormal enthusiast / cryptid expert, Professor Alex Wheaton. I'm sorry that I am basically shouting at you. We are at Lakeview Cemetery in Cleveland, Ohio, and it is very windy right now. And to make sure you can hear me, gotta project. So, sorry if you're on headphones and this is louder than I anticipated. You can jump over later, right? We are here for a very exciting cemetery. This is the one I'm most excited for on this whole trip that we're doing. Before I jump in too much, I'll go ahead and cut to our history reads.
The Lakeview Cemetery, located in Cleveland, Ohio, was established on July 28, 1869. The 285-acre garden cemetery was favored by wealthy families into the early 1900s and is the cause of the lavish monuments and mausoleums. The cemetery is the home of over 104,000 graves, including James D. Rockefeller and Elliot Ness. Two additional occupants are Jephthah Wade, who was a co-founder of the cemetery, and the 20th President of the United States of America, James A. Garfield. Each have memorials on the National Register of Historic Places, the Wade Memorial Chapel, and the James A. Garfield Memorial, respectively. Some of the memorials are not as benevolent and seem creepy and off-putting. One such is the Haserot Angel.
The Haserot Angel is the grave marker for Francis Haserot and his family, who were a wealthy family in the late 19th century. The sculpture was created by Herman Maxton in 1923 and is titled The Angel of Death Victorious. The bronze statue has a ghoulish appearance due to years of discoloration causing black stains on the eyes and face, making the face appear to be weeping. Most unsettling of all, it has been rumored that the statue will move or cry with the faint sound of weeping being heard.
This cemetery may be the final resting place for many spirits, but the former President James A. Garfield is considered to be more restless. President Garfield had a fascination with the supernatural, and would partake in seances, speaking with spirits, including his deceased father. He would even predict his own death, and naming the man and method of murder prior to his assassination. Garfield did not immediately pass and was in a coma for almost 2.5 months prior to his death. It is said that Garfield's spirit had left his body and began wandering, and still does to this day. People have claimed that he is the cause of tombstones moving in the cemetery, and that it is him playing chess with Rockefeller. One specific story in 1979 involves a call being made to the local fire department by a man named Garfield about a fire at the cemetery. When the firemen stated there was not a fire at the cemetery, the voice replied, "But I did not say that the fire had already happened. It is going to happen." 10 days later, the roof of the maintenance building caught fire. Visitors that day could see a brilliant force in the air by his monument and the sound of two disembodied men laughing. Being one of the largest cemeteries in Ohio, it is no surprise that it is claimed to be haunted. As we have seen many times before this, spirits seem to be happy as their surroundings. For these lucky spirits, the Lakeview Cemetery is one of the most beautiful cemeteries there are. Unless that statue truly is weeping.
Alright, so you heard the history, and I think you can tell why I am most excited for the cemetery. We have only driven it for about 3 minutes, and it is giant. So finding everything we want to is going to be a little tricky, but we got some maps and stuff, and we got a hell of a driver taking us around, so we'll figure this out. First thing I want to do before I get into my hopes and everything here, I told them I want to find the cemetery's gatekeeper grave. They're usually the first one buried here, so like you can just kind of make a token to make everything okay. He is on the other side of the cemetery.
So
Pretty
we'll
much
be driving for a bit.
Yeah, he's kind of away from everything that we're doing, so we might do things a little out of order. So I just kind of want to make an intention known here to him and the rest of the cemetery that we are here to be respectful. We are here on a positive note. We aren't going to be disrespectful, ruin anything, make fun of anyone. I do have tokens to give to you as payment, so to speak. So we do have things we'll leave with you as well. But I just want to say that now in case we don't get to you first. We do plan on getting to you eventually. So, I was originally most excited to see the Haserot Angel. Megan and I came to Cleveland for our anniversary, and I really wanted to see that grave. We didn't get the chance, so I am super excited today to see it, even if nothing supernatural happens with it. And then with President Garfield, I've got a little plan here. We've got some extra equipment. I've got some extra supplies.
A little bit of an experiment, if you will.
Yes. I'm going to try doing my first on-camera reading for the podcast, almost like a mini seance, to try to stir up Garfield, since he loves seances so much. We're going to split up into 2 teams, and I'm going to see if we can get him to communicate and also kind of mess with the other team. So we'll see what we got there. But Sean, what are you hoping for or thinking today?
I am... Hopefully this isn't going to be an oppressive feeling here. I don't really read much into this place being negative, so hopefully those rumors are true. And hopefully we're not seeing any angels weeping.
How about you?
Honestly, from what little we've already seen, I'm excited to experience what this cemetery has, because it seems very peaceful and just natural. So I think hopefully that we only feel positive kind of feelings and emotions.
I agree. And I know we're going to hit up the Haserot Angel, we're going to hit up Garfield, but there's some other graves we noticed here, some other sites, so you may see more than we anticipated showing you. So sit tight and let's go for a walk. So we found section 1. This is where our boy's going to be buried, the gatekeeper. Beautiful mausoleums over here. That's Wade Chapel, so check that out. And then over here, behind the Zool headstone,
Ooh, a porta potty.
is
There's a couple of them.
It looks like a Cadillac one too.
the pond. So we're going to be checking over here, looking for the gatekeeper. Apologize for any wind that might break this up, but this is a little closer view of the pond. Some big goldfish or koi in there. So, the gatekeeper here is a captain from the Civil War, Captain Louis Germain de Forest. And the reason we're seeking him out is I want to leave a token there so we have the spirit's blessing to do what we want to do. We found his section over here, so we're going to get hunting to see if we can find his grave up there, leave him some tokens, and then we saw the Haserot Angel and Garfield's tomb, so we'll be heading over there. But absolutely gorgeous around here. I'm going to try to get a lot of B-roll footage because this place needs to be seen. Now, walking through this gorgeous cemetery wasn't a problem. The weather was nice, and the views were absolutely beautiful as we searched for Louis Germain de Forest, the gatekeeper. Find him? I found him. Here he is. Gatekeeper. The first person ever buried.
This is the family plot, because you can see this is the DeForest. Like it's actually the family crest and everything.
Yeah, that's cool. Just gonna get a couple of things out here. Hi, Lewis. As the first person here, I heard you are the gatekeeper. We're going to be walking around here checking out some things, checking out some spirits and ghosts. I just wanted to check with you if that would be okay. I'm just going to switch this here just so I can get accurate answers from you. Ms. Crystal's here just to give you a little more power if it's been a while for you. But is it okay that we're here today? Thank you. Please stop the pendulum. Is it okay if we walk around and interact with some spirits and ghosts? And interesting note, I don't know if you guys can see on the camera from the grass, the wind is blowing the other way. Thank you. Please stop the pendulum. I'm going to leave you a token, but would it be okay if we maybe do a reading or seance with President Garfield at least? Thank you. I'm just going to take my stuff off of you here. And I have some things. First, I'm going to leave you with a penny. And with a dime, I know you usually leave 9 pennies. All I had was a dime. I'm leaving that with you. I got a rock from Lake Erie. I'm going to give to you as well. And then I'm going to leave a couple real pretty stones with you as well. These are the tokens here. Are these tokens okay? Thank you, Lewis. Thank you for allowing us to do this. Goodbye. So, the tokens are there. So we can go ahead and we can start our adventure. After doing the little ritual to get his permission, Megan noticed a tomb that she thought was rather interesting, so we stop over there. And as you'll see, Sean makes a discovery about his stone that we all seem to match. We can't explain it, we can't count out anything plausible, but it's interesting to note.
Unto Jesus, the author and finisher of our faith.
Got a gouge.
I got a small cut.
Not me.
Well, I'm just saying, I had something
Or
gripping on my chest when we were at the last place.
there's that, but I don't know if that's just an imperfection in the stone.
Best I recall, they were pretty flat and perfect earlier.
Well,
I mean,
and I've been rubbing mine in my pocket, and I just felt.
But
the
if you
gouge
look at
there.
them, they all look the same. Like, if they were a scratch or anything, I feel like they would be different.
Yeah, and that's an actual like gash in his.
Yeah.
I do
got
not
another one on
remember
the side.
feeling any gouges or.
I was saying, I flipped
scratches
you over.
or
I didn't feel any
anything.
scratches on mine when I got it.
Thank you. And mine was just in my back pocket where nothing else was.
Yeah, mine's in this pocket. It's nothing.
Yeah. Mine, I didn't have anything in it.
Interesting.
I
So
now have the car key, but...
At the place we just were, we all felt negative things, and our stones mysteriously have some gouges now.
Yeah.
We can't make an official determination, but definitely a weird
How
note.
about a tree?
As we were driving around, we were admiring all the incredibly cool tombstones, grave markers, mausoleums. Such a big cemetery had so many gorgeous works of art as their headstones. And we eventually made our way up to the Haserot Angel. And we have made our way to the Haserot Angel. Lots of people come to view her. Tokens all over. Lots of Lots of people come to view her. Tokens all over. Lots of pennies. Some stones. This ivy's like very like controlled grown.
Oh, Andrew. Pennies.
Yep. There's a whole bunch in the front. Like a bike chain link thing. It's an interesting token. Like the rest of the cemetery, the Haserot Angel was absolutely gorgeous despite some graffiti. We did eventually check it out, and we also did a little pendulum reading, you'll see. Middle finger on the belly, head, nose, belly. Brass, but looks like where the heart is typically seen.
If it's graffiti, it's intentional.
Yeah.
And the question is why.
I'm gonna go ahead and add a penny to it. That's what it is. Oh, yeah. Just as a token.
Don't you put it back here?
Life of William. Okay, that's all.
Tokens. I'm gonna back now if my tokens are ready for you. So real quick, show me just the energy flow away from the statue. Pretty even to the right. Sorry for stepping on your tokens, they're just kind of everywhere. Show me the energy flow in the statue. Okay, it's kind of a straight line. Just a little bit everywhere. Yeah. Alright. Is there anything negative surrounding the statue, spirit-wise? Spirit-wise, are you positive? Stop. Do you feel disrespected? Stop. Do you appreciate the positive tokens you get left? Stop. Is it okay to leave you another token? Alright. Well, thank you. Anyone else want to say anything to whatever spirit is in the statue?
You guys have any questions?
That's a big spider. Big little spider. Anybody else want anything else?
Did somebody disrespect you?
Did somebody disrespect you with paint? Well, I am sorry that they did that. You have a beautiful statue, beautiful sculpture here. I'm sorry that someone had to be an asshole and do what they did. But I'll leave another token here. At least because I think we've enjoyed you. Harvey People. And there is a bunch of pens here. All over, and pencils. So we're going to add one to the pile. I think it's somewhere in the middle or on the fringe over here.
I'd say in the middle if you could find something.
Because I found a spot right here. What do you think, Bill?
Yeah.
Harvey People. Life is about women, gigs, and being creative. I already tell I like this guy. As do a lot of people, judging just from the pens. Just up here. Elliot Ness. And they help bring down Al Capone. Up there some tokens, including it's a hollow point, some pennies, and a little cop car. Which I can't think of a better token to leave for him than a police bullet. Red shot north
Here as well.
everywhere.
This is a bench for him too.
What are those plants around that bench?
I don't know. They're like black bushes. This is the man that coined the term rock and roll. Alan Freed. And finally, we arrived at our main event, the President Garfield Monument. Now, unfortunately, like I said, you'll have to wait till next episode to see how our experiment went.